Module 5, Weekly Previews. How to review and plan your week. Full focus plan or weekly previews. So I'm going to actually show you a couple of examples of weekly previews. All right, so here's a weekly preview. This was my first full focus planner. So I did 3 of these last year, and it takes you a while. It's going to take you at least probably 2 or 3 quarters to really get it down. So going back here the previous week, I've got my big 3, finished my creative agency services visual web page and marketing landing page. So there's 2 separate web pages on my new goldstreet.net website that I was transitioning from the old Gold Street Media. That was my number 1 priority. And of course, that's actually 2 things. But me being AD&D, I put them under 1. So don't do that. That's 2 separate things. If it's going to take more than 2 hours to do each thing, it's a separate thing. Then I had some updates to my portfolio homepage and then celebrate Gloria's birthday on Sunday. That was a pretty important one to have in my big 3. Otherwise, I'd be in big trouble. All righty, so that was the previous week. And then here's what we accomplished. We finished our Gold Street Creative Agency Services page, visual and marketing. So that was 2 pages that we did. We created a portfolio master page with 4 highlights on each of those pages. So I wasn't highlighting everything, but I've got 4 examples, 1 on the marketing page, 1 on the visual page. That was done. I created a new footer section on the web page that had an about page link. So for people who are interested in learning more about Gold Street, people who want to join our team, either as a talent, freelance talent, marketing talent, we had a section there. I did something with Michael Gogan. And then, what do we do here? Oh, then I just list here the percentage of what I did. So we completed 100% of that one. I put 80% on the portfolio page. And then, this was plan and prepare for Gloria's birthday. So it wasn't actually a birthday. I just had to plan and prepare for it, I guess. I've forgotten what day this was. Okay, so it was her birthday on the Monday. So I prepared everything on Sunday, and then we celebrated on the Monday. What worked? What didn't work? What am I going to keep doing? So you see some things highlighted here. So I need to finish the creative portfolio on my reels, my YouTube reels, organize and simplify those, and launch the new website. So I hadn't done anything to actually launch it. I hadn't shared it with anybody, even as a soft launch. So those were some things that I needed to do. And then we had a brand new big 3 for the week, some work on the website, something on one of my clients, a political campaign I was working on. And we were coming up to Labor Day, so things I was going to do to celebrate Labor Day. So here's an example of one where I didn't get my number 1 priority done, but I got my 2nd and my 3rd priority done. My first priority was to finish my profit and loss statement, which is highly exciting for my business, and then finalize my 2019 tax return, including my business expenses. That was number 1. That was the most important thing. I did not do that. The reason I didn't do that, because I don't enjoy doing that. I did my number 2 task, which was WordPress creative and content portfolios by category. I created those pages. And we did weekend service at Mariners Church with my family and some other things there. So I got some of those things done, but I didn't get that one thing done. And the reason for that is that because it's not something I really wanted to do, and I didn't have to do it, it wasn't deadline driven, I didn't do it in that week. The good news is I did eventually do it. One of the things with people with ADD is we need a deadline. So we need either an artificial deadline that we set or we hold ourselves accountable to, such as creating a date to shoot this course that we're doing with Catherine here, which is forcing me to do it because I didn't have to do it. But I actually had a deadline, courtesy of the IRS, where I had to file this. So fast forward to whenever this was, the October 10th, because I filed an extension because I am ADD and I hate doing financials. And I did it. We did our profit and loss. We filed our taxes and I got all this other stuff done. So things do get done eventually, but sometimes not exactly when you want to do them. So knowing yourself and what you need to do to work is important. the good thing about this is I can go through this and I can see that I've actually done a lot of the things that I had set at the start of this year as my goals. I can tick that off, tick that off, tick that off, tick that off, 3/4 tick that off, half tick that off. And this was which plan was this? I think this was for Q3. Yeah, this was the Q3. So we got things done. We launched our podcast. We redesigned our website. We did some other stuff in terms of internalizing this new productivity system that I was using, some other systematization things, some stuff for Jasmine, our daughter, in terms of getting her ready to select the college that she was going to go to, and applications and extra stuff for that. So that's the Full Focus Planner. And I can look back and I can say this helped me to accomplish a lot of the goals that I set in 2020. So it's not magical, but writing your goals down, having a weekly preview process where you review your wins, what you didn't do, what worked, what didn't, what you're going to do better this week, really, really helps. And the other thing that this has in it is a quarterly preview at the very end. So you can go back and do a quarterly preview and look at your highlights for the quarter. Again, the same format. What did you accomplish? What didn't get done? What worked? What didn't? What can you improve? What can you keep doing, improve, stop, start? It's the exact same format for each quarter. And what you can do is the Full Focus Planner has a Facebook page as well as a paid group called Compass, where you can do virtual weekly previews and virtual quarterly previews. So if you struggle with having the discipline to sit down and do that planning, you can log on live and they will walk you through that and say, okay, we're now going to list our wins. And they give you 5 minutes. We're now going to list, and there's a whole bunch of you on that call, on that Facebook Live, and you can do it live, or you could just watch the replay and do it that way. Or you could set up a call with a friend or a buddy who uses the same system and an accountability partner, and you could do the same thing to push you to do that. In fact, Full Focus Planner has just created a audio walkthrough for your weekly preview that you can download on your phone, play, and you'll hear Blake walking you through. Okay, now list your wins. Now list how you did on your big three, and you just follow the prompts and do it. So that's the Full Focus Planner.